exes just go away.
Netflix is packed with thrillers, but most of them get hyped for a week and then completely disappear. Hidden in that massive library are movies that are actually disturbing, intense, and genuinely unpredictable.
일이 잘못돼도 전화기는 끝까지 가지고 있어. 내가 다시 바꿀 수 있으니까.
The kind that pull you in fast and don't let go. Some of these flew under the radar. And honestly, that's a mistake. Today we're counting down 10 bone-chilling hidden Netflix thrillers that almost no one is talking about. From psychological mind games to slow burn stories that get darker the longer you watch.
Without ever touching him. He's gonna get a new job, and it's all gonna continue.
And trust me, a few of these get really uncomfortable in the best way. If you enjoy finding underrated thrillers before everyone else catches on, make sure to like and subscribe for more weekly recommendations. Number 10. The Glass House.
Buckle up.
Coming in at number 10 is The Glass House, a psychological thriller directed by Daniel Sackheim and starring Lily Sobieski, Diane Lane, and Stellan Skarsgård. The film follows two siblings who, after the sudden death of their parents, are taken in by wealthy family friends and brought to live in a massive, modern glass house overlooking the ocean. At first, everything seems perfect, until small details start to feel off. The Guardians begin acting strangely, rules become tighter, and the older sister starts to suspect that something much darker is happening behind the scenes. What begins as discomfort quickly turns into a tense and dangerous situation where trust becomes impossible. What makes The Glass House stand out is its slow-building paranoia and unsettling atmosphere. It keeps things simple, but the tension keeps rising as the truth slowly reveals itself. It's one of those movies that makes you question everything, even the people who are supposed to protect you. Number 9. Revelations. Taking the number 9 spot is Revelations, a 2025 South Korean mystery thriller, directed by Yeon Sang-ho, the same filmmaker behind Train to Busan. The film follows a troubled pastor whose life begins to spiral when he becomes convinced that he's been chosen to deliver divine justice after a series of disturbing events unfold around him. As his obsession grows, what starts as suspicion quickly turns into something far more dangerous. At the same time, a detective is investigating a separate case that slowly begins to connect, creating a tense and unpredictable narrative where belief, guilt, and reality all start to blur. What makes Revelation stand out is its psychological intensity and dark themes. It doesn't rely on fast action. Instead, it builds a heavy, unsettling atmosphere that keeps you locked in. This is the kind of thriller that feels calm at first, and then quietly spirals into something way darker than you expected. Number 8. Before I Go to Sleep. Taking the number 8 spot is Before I Go to Sleep, a psychological thriller directed by Rowan Joffe and starring Nicole Kidman, Colin Firth, and Mark Strong. The film follows a woman who wakes up every single day with no memory of her past due to a traumatic brain injury, forced to relearn her life over and over again. Each morning, her husband patiently explains who she is, but things start to feel off when a doctor secretly encourages her to record video messages for herself. As she begins uncovering fragments of the truth, she realizes that not everything she's being told can be trusted. What makes this movie stand out is its constant sense of uncertainty. You're experiencing everything through her perspective, which makes every revelation feel tense and unsettling. It's the kind of thriller that keeps you guessing, because you literally don't know who to believe. Number 7. Better Watch Out. Taking the number 7 spot is Better Watch Out, a psychological thriller directed by Chris Peckover and starring Olivia DeJonge and Levi Miller. At first glance, it looks like a typical home invasion story set during Christmas, following a babysitter trying to protect a young boy when something starts going wrong outside the house. But very quickly, the story takes a turn that completely flips expectations. What starts as a familiar setup becomes something much darker, more twisted, and, honestly, way more uncomfortable than you expect. As the night unfolds, the situation spirals into a disturbing game where control, manipulation, and fear take over. What makes this movie stand out is how unpredictable it is. It constantly shifts tone and keeps you off balance, making it hard to know what's coming next. This is one of those thrillers that starts simple and then completely blindsides you in the worst way possible. Number 6. Eden.
Bye-bye.
Taking the number 6 spot is Eden, a survival thriller directed by Ron Howard and starring Jude Law, Ana de Armas, and Sydney Sweeney. The film is based on a true story and follows a group of settlers who travel to a remote island hoping to build a peaceful, utopian life away from society. At first, it feels like a fresh start, isolated, quiet, and full of possibility. But as more people arrive and tensions begin to rise, that sense of paradise quickly starts to break down. Power struggles, manipulation, and paranoia slowly take over, turning the island into something far more dangerous than anyone expected. What makes Eden stand out is how grounded it feels. There are no over-the-top twists, just the slow, realistic collapse of human behavior under pressure. It's the kind of story that proves sometimes the real danger isn't the place, it's the people you're stuck there with. Number 5. Fractured.
It's the hospital!
Nobody needs to get hurt.
I mean, he's a head case.
Taking the number 5 spot is Fractured, a psychological thriller directed by Brad Anderson and starring Sam Worthington. The film follows a father whose life takes a terrifying turn after his wife and daughter seemingly disappear inside a hospital following a minor accident. At first, it feels like a simple search. He just wants answers. But when the hospital staff insists his family was never there, everything starts to unravel. As he pushes deeper into the mystery, reality itself begins to feel unstable, and you're left questioning what's actually happening and what isn't. What makes Fractured stand out is how it plays with perception. The entire story is built around uncertainty, pulling you into the main character's confusion and paranoia. It's the kind of movie that has you constantly second-guessing everything, right up until the moment it all hits you. Number 4. Caliber.
So sorry. That's not gonna be enough.
Taking the number 4 spot is Caliber, a psychological thriller directed by Matt Palmer and starring Jack Lowden and Martin McCann. The film follows 2 lifelong friends who head to a remote village in the Scottish Highlands for what's supposed to be a quiet hunting trip and a break from their normal lives. But everything changes after a single tragic accident in the woods. What starts as a mistake quickly spirals into a nightmare as the 2 try to cover it up, only to realize they're trapped in a tightly knit community that's beginning to suspect something is wrong. What makes Caliber stand out is how realistic and intense it feels. There's no over-the-top action, just constant pressure, moral tension, and the feeling that everything could collapse at any moment. This is the kind of thriller that slowly tightens the pressure until you feel like you can't breathe right along with them. Number 3. The Good Nurse.
Working with someone named Charlie Cullen. Yeah. There was a rumor about him.
Taking the number 3 spot is The Good Nurse, a true crime thriller directed by Tobias Lindholm and starring Jessica Chastain and Eddie Redmayne. The film is based on real events and follows a compassionate nurse who begins to suspect that her co-worker may be responsible for a series of mysterious patient deaths. At first, their relationship feels genuine, supportive, even comforting during long night shifts. But as patterns start to emerge, small details don't add up, and suspicion slowly turns into something much more serious. The tension builds not through action, but through quiet moments and growing unease. What makes The Good Nurse stand out is how grounded it feels. It's not exaggerated, which makes it even more disturbing knowing it actually happened. It's the kind of thriller that doesn't need to be loud, because the truth behind it is already unsettling enough. Number 2. The Call.
정확하게 알아. 진짜 네가 그랬구나.
Taking the number 2 spot is The Call, a South Korean psychological thriller directed by Lee Chung-hyun and starring Park Shin-hye and Jeon Jong-seo. The film follows 2 women living in the same house, but in completely different time periods, who somehow become connected through a mysterious phone call. At first, the connection feels harmless, even helpful. They begin sharing information and changing small events in each other's lives. But as those changes ripple through time, things quickly take a dark and dangerous turn. What starts as curiosity becomes a twisted game where every decision has real consequences. What makes The Call stand out is its concept and execution. It constantly plays with time in a way that feels tense, unpredictable, and honestly, unsettling. This is the kind of movie that keeps escalating until you realize there's no way out of the mess they've created. Number 1. A Quiet Place. Part 2. Taking the number 1 spot is A Quiet Place Part 2, a post-apocalyptic thriller directed by John Krasinski and starring Emily Blunt, Cillian Murphy, and Millicent Simmons. The film continues the story of a family trying to survive in a world where making even the smallest sound can get you killed by deadly creatures that hunt using hearing. After leaving their home, the family is forced to venture into the outside world, where they quickly realize the danger goes far beyond the creatures themselves. As they search for safety and other survivors, every step becomes a risk, and every sound could be their last. What makes this movie stand out is its tension and execution. The silence, the pacing, and the constant sense of danger make every scene feel intense without needing nonstop action. This isn't just a thriller, it's the kind of movie that has you holding your breath the entire time without even realizing it. And there you have it. 10 hidden Netflix thrillers that prove you don't need the most popular titles to find something seriously intense to watch.
내가 말이야. 너희 아빠를.
From psychological mind games to slow burn stories that completely mess with your head, these are the ones that stay with you long after they end.
We're putting together a search party. What were you doing last night?
Now I want to know in the comments, which of these are you watching first, and did any of them actually surprise you? If you enjoyed this video and want more hidden gems like these, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss any new videos.